Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to two fat fucks talk about
Oof,
football. Um,
rough day.
yeah, we are shorthanded today. Rev unfortunately is not feeling all that well. I believe he's on some new type of medication, and it's really fucking with him. And Aegon, I mean, we're recording this at about 11 p.m. Central, so it's about midnight for him. So I'm guessing he's
Dead?
probably dead. Probably,
Oof.
yeah, he's dead. No, he's asleep already. So yeah, it's just me and Iron Ranger. So this is going to be either really really good or we're going to regret this episode. One to two. It's going to be one to two. No middle ground. So how you doing, Iron?
Not too bad. And yourself?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
All
But
right.
we got some football to talk about, so I'm not looking to stay it up for 2 hours doing nothing. So let's just jump into it, as Philip DeFranco would say. And let's go to the Thursday night game where we saw New England beat the New York Giants 35-14. Pretty predictable, if I do say so. New England still undefeated, 6-0. And overall, it didn't seem that great of a game to start out with. It seemed somewhat sloppy, but once Tom Brady and the offense for New England got started, yeesh.
It didn't start out bad for New York. Both teams looked kind of sloppy. It started turnover on downs, punt, interception by the Giants, interceptions back to from the Patriots, then some more punts. It was a ugly start to a game. I mean, neither team passed 450 total yards. New England doubled New York's yardage total. It was just garbage. We go into the half though, 21-14, New England.
Yeah, it was
And it
still within grasp.
dude, New York went in with a late touchdown in the second quarter, and you didn't feel that bad about it. New England went ahead and took the lead right there at the end. But 21-14, Danny Dimes, rookie quarterback, you're feeling kind of good about yourself. Come out in the second half and they just looked flat.
Yeah, I was about to
They,
say
they couldn't gain any traction there at the end.
Yeah, no score during the third, and then Patriots decide, you know what, fourth quarter, we're just going to score 14 points on you and just make this look a lot worse than what it actually was.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it
yeah,
wasn't a very exciting game. I'll tell you that much.
yeah, I was actually, I was actually in the hospital with my sister. She had just given birth to a new nephew, to a little
Oh,
baby boy.
congratulations.
Thank you. And me and my brother who's a Pats fan, we were both pulled the game up on our phones, just trying to watch it. So
I believe that.
yeah,
But
that's how
sounds like
addicted we
two.
are in the U.S. with football people.
Aren't we ever? It's
Yeah.
the worst.
But quick look at the stat lines. Tom Brady, 31 for 41 out of 41, 334 yards. No touchdown, no passing touchdowns for Brady. One interception and 3 sacks. He got sacked 3 times. QBR 88.9, which is really well below par for him.
The worst part is that New York doesn't even have that great defense. I mean, we are definitely watching Tom Brady's last year of football. He is actually looking old. I can't imagine him getting through this season and saying, "Hey, I want to do this again."
Yeah, I don't know if it's him getting old or if it's just we have our good weeks and our bad weeks. It's you have your good days and your bad days, and I think maybe Thursday night was just a bad day for Tom. But
Dude, yeah, those short days are always rough.
yeah, I was about to say he went from an early game on Sunday to Thursday night, so he only had the 4 day week or whatever.
Yep. Luckily, he was home for this one, but
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, short turnaround and age 42 season. It's got to take a toll on a body. But I mean, the rest of the team, Sonny Michel, he looked good. Brandon Bolden looked decent. I mean, he 3 carries, averaged about 8 yards, I want to say.
Yeah.
Get some rushing touchdowns in there. Tom Brady took 2 in. So it was not his worst day ever. I'll give him that.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, you can definitely tell his favorite target right now is Julian Edelman.
I don't see that changing for the rest of the year either.
Yeah, I mean,
It's been that way for a while. And yeah, Edelman's that beautiful blanket you have in the cold winter night.
yeah.
Just
Edelman got targeted 15 times, by the way, which is why I say that. So,
hauled in 9 of them, too.
yeah.
I mean, you can see why Brady goes to him.
Yeah, I mean, he does work. So,
and then on the other side, Danny Dimes, not so hot.
yeah.
I think that was the theme this football week, is that rookies look like rookies for the most part.
Yeah, 15 for 31, 161 yards. He did get a touchdown pass, but he had 3 interceptions and got sacked once. QBR 35.2. So, Tom Brady might have had an off day, but Daniel Jones certainly had an even worse day.
Dude, I mean, no Saquon, not to be unexpected here. Your offense revolves around your rookie quarterback at this point, but one bright spot is Danny Dimes and Golden Tate look like they are on the same page.
Yeah, Golden Tate targeted 9 times, caught 6 of them.
102 yards, 1 touchdown. I mean, that was fun to watch. He put on a show,
including a big 64-yard gain for the long between the two. So
right. Yeah, he had a good game. He showed up. Not many other players did.
Yeah. I think we kind of just stomped this one to the ground. What do you think?
I think so.
All right, let's go ahead and move on. We go to the Sunday games, starting off with Carolina Panthers scoring 37 against Tampa Bay scoring 26. I think we do have to, in honor of Rev, we do have to say, fuck Jameis Winston, fuck Jameis Winston, fuck Jameis Winston.
Fuck Jameis Winston.
Fuck Jameis
Winston. And one more time, fuck Jameis Winston. There's the 6.
There's the 6, Rev. Are you proud of us? But anyway.
Boy, he was fucking atrocious.
Oh my God. Like,
I can't say much. The conditions at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium looked fucking terrible for football.
Mm-hmm.
It did not look conducive to a good game. I mean,
was this the England game?
This was the England game.
Yeah.
Woke up early to watch it, and 37-26 is nowhere near how close this game truly was. This was in Carolina's bag the entire time. Tampa never had a shot at it.
I mean, just looking at the 2 quarterback stat lines. Yeah, Kyle Allen for Carolina, 20 out of 32, 227 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, and he got sacked twice for a QBR of 104.6. Then you take a look at Jameis Winston for Tampa Bay, 30 for 54, 400 yards, but he only had 1 touchdown, 5 picks, and got sacked 7 times. I didn't watch much of this game, but just based off that, I have to assume he had to be scrambling a lot, and that forced him into some really bad situations to throw those picks.
You would think so, but here's the deal with Jameis Winston. He is this generation's Matt Stafford.
Oh, ouch.
Dude, I mean, he's a combination of Matt Stafford and Brett Favre. In the way that Matt Stafford just puts up empty yards, and Brett Favre would just throw it into stupid places a lot. That's Jameis Winston. Dude, he makes terrible throws constantly, and you can see why Fitzmagic started over him last year. Yeah. And I can't understand why Arians thought he was a franchise anything.
Yeah, I mean, when your QBR is a 46.8, I mean, good God.
Dude, you want to talk about QBRs? That's nowhere near the worst one of the weekend, but it
Yeah.
wasn't pretty. I'll tell you what. I woke up early for this game. I was all excited, and it was all Carolina, and more specifically, it was all Kyle Allen.
Yeah. Although I will say, it looks like Tampa did some work as far as like stopping the any sort of running attack that Carolina might have had. Because I'm looking here, Christian McCaffrey, he had 22 rushes, but only went for 31 yards.
Dude, he looked pedestrian. I was
Yeah.
surprised. I thought this was going to be his coming out party, but like I said, he had that one big run, and you saw the defenders slide right past him. This field, it's probably great for soccer, but I can't imagine it's good for football.
Yeah.
It looks tore up.
And who
At
knows,
the end of the
like,
game, it looked like it got beat to shit.
yeah, and who knows, like, what weather was probably like or whatever for them over there, too.
Right.
Because I bet that had something to do with it, too. So,
Dude, it was another sloppy game. It wasn't anything exciting. No big plays. Nobody really came out.
yeah.
Kind of a bummer to leave London 2019 with that kind of sloppy game. But I'm sure they had a blast anyways.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure all the fans there got blitzed, and
Dude, you know what I learned though this week
what's that?
is that at soccer matches they don't allow drinking in the stadium. So at halftime you go outside in
They go to the
London
bar.
and go to the bar, and then you go back for the second half.
Yeah.
And then after the game you can drink there for like 3 hours.
Well, yeah,
I never knew that. Blew my mind.
yeah, they're kind of like us with football. It's you get drunk, you're the absolute worst while you're at the game. I mean, just take a look at any footage of Buffalo or Jets fans.
Dude, you know what the problem is though? Soccer games, you just want to get blitzed at.
Oh
But
yeah.
we went to a MNUFC Loons game for my bachelor party this summer,
Mm-hmm.
and we went and started with the Twins game, and stayed pretty sober. Got to that soccer game, and dude, you just want to get annihilated.
Oh
So I
yeah.
don't know how they do it in England. That was a weird random stat for the day.
Yeah.
Don't say we never taught you anything, boys and
Yep.
girls.
We are a very educational show.
Love it.
Yeah, we'll also say fuck Jameis Winston. There's a bonus for you.
Right.
All right,
All
let's go
right.
ahead and go on. Seattle Seahawks beat the Cleveland Browns 32-28. Baker
Wow.
Mayfield, what the frick, man? I
Dude,
mean,
I saw a lot of this game, and boy, Freddie Kitchens is not an NFL coach, and Baker Mayfield is not ready for the world on his shoulders.
do you think Baker Mayfield just tries too much?
No, because I like his moxie a lot. I think, dude, when you're that small of a guy, you've got a lot of shit on your shoulders. You know, you take a lot of grief. It probably builds up, but I don't think he's learned how to channel it quite yet.
Yeah, you're probably right on that. But I'm just saying that because he got outplayed by Russell Wilson every way. You look like compare the stat lines. Russell Wilson was 23 for out of 33 for 295 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, got sacked 3 times, but his QBR was 117.6. And then you take a look at Mayfield, 22 for 37, so similar percentage wise, a little bit worse. 249 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 picks for 54.9 QBR. Like, he had to have just tried to force a few in there if you're just looking at that stat line. So, I don't know.
He's another one of those. I think he'll grow out of it, but he takes some chances that he probably shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, got such great weapons. You feel like you can make every throw, but he'll learn to throw it out of bounds eventually, or he'll wash out of the league.
Yeah. I will say this. Probably the biggest reason Cleveland was in this game for as long as they were, Nick Chubb. That rushing attack from Nick Chubb, 20 rushes for 122 yards with a long of 52.
You know
And
what's amazing is how the NFL just pumps out amazing running backs every season.
yeah,
Dude, Chubb is a fun guy. Like, this is what kept me coming back to this game on Sunday. Nick Chubb, when he was getting the ball at the beginning, looked special.
right.
And then you watch Russell Wilson just dissect a pretty decent defense
Hmm.
there at the end after looking pretty frustrated to start this game. Dude, it was a fun game. It was a fun game to watch with a lot of boring parts in the middle.
Do you think they ought to readjust their strategy a little bit in Cleveland to put in a little bit more of a rushing attack? Because it seems like Chubb, whenever he gets the ball, is always due for a bomb of a run.
Dude, when you're running 20 times with one guy and you don't really feel comfortable with your backup,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's much to do right now. I think when they get what's his name got suspended from Kansas City,
Oh,
Kareem Hunt.
yeah.
When they get Kareem Hunt in the mix, dude, I think this offense will take off, but I think it might be too little, too late by that point.
Yeah, maybe either if there's like a free agent signing they could get, or if they can wait until next year in the draft to draft a decent running back to help out with Chubb. I mean, maybe then we might see something like that, but yeah, I think you're kind of right with Chubb being really the only running back for Cleveland. It's kind of hard to try to refocus on that a little bit.
I mean, you look at Seattle's rushing attack. You've got Chris Carson. He touches the ball 24 times for 124 yards.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Russell Wilson breaking it out for another 9 attempts. He got 31 yards. Then you have CJ Procise take the ball 3 times, DJ Metcalf take it once, and Tyler Lockett take it once. You take out the quarterback, that's still 4 guys toting the ball for 27 times, 29 times, excuse me. And then you've got the Browns. It's just Nick Chubb, and then Baker Mayfield scrambled 4 times.
Yeah.
It's impossible in 2019 NFL to just have one guy for all 3 downs, never giving him a break.
Yeah, so if there is a weakness to the Cleveland offense, they need to get more runners. They
Dude,
need to
and
get more backs.
they're not the only one, as we'll get to later.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, that I really got to know more at this point.
No.
Yeah. But anyway, on to the next one.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All right. The Houston Texans get past the Kansas City Chiefs 31-24. This one, I mean, can we kind of call it a comeback? Because Kansas City started off hot, getting 17 points in the first quarter to Houston's 3. And then Houston, the second, just comes out, scores 20, and goes into half leading.
Dude, it was a furious first half for these two teams.
Yeah.
I mean, the bummer is I think it could have been an even bigger score if Patty Mahomes was healthy. I think these two would have shot it out for at least 40 each.
Yeah, is Patrick Mahomes dealing with some sort of like ankle injury or something?
Yeah, he got it twisted up, I think, last game really early, or maybe late 2 games ago. And yeah, he hasn't looked right since. I mean, 2 straight losses. He's tumbling out of the MVP conversation.
Yeah, is this the start of the Madden curse? When he on the cover this year for Madden?
I think he was. I think he was too.
Little late onset for that curse, but okay, here we go. But yeah, look at the stat lines. Mahomes was 19 out of 35 attempts, 273 yards still on just 19 completions. So pretty much any pass he threw was a decently long play.
Dude, he had Tyreek Hill back, so that helps quite a bit. That'll pump your yardage up.
Yeah. 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, and 1 sack for QBR of 96.5, which was the better of the 2 QBRs in this game with Deshaun Watson, 30 for 42, 280 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, no sacks, 77.5 QBR. So, Yeah.
Another not great game overall. Like if you sat and watched the entire thing, you
Mhm.
probably weren't that entertained. It was just one of those weeks, man. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
But you
I mean,
can't you
if
can't count out these Texans now.
yeah,
These Texans
Texas
are a legit team.
Texas won on their rushing attack. I
Yeah.
think because you look at the rushing yards. One guy, Carlos Hyde, outrushed all of Kansas City because Kansas City only had 53 yards rushing. Carlos Hyde doubled that, more than doubled that, 116 yards.
Then you've got Deshaun Watson, who's just a freakish athlete. He
You
takes it in
scrambled,
for
yeah,
42 yards and 2 more touchdowns on 10 attempts. And then you've got Duke Johnson, who can still take it 5 times for 34 yards at a clip of almost 7 per carry.
yeah. So,
Dude, and the scariest part
mhm.
is Deshaun wasn't even throwing it that well. Dude, against a pretty terrible defense. I mean, their back four aren't bad, but god damn that front seven is just garbage.
Yeah.
Oof.
Although I'm not 100% sure how much I could blame like Deshaun Watson for some of the incompletions because I've saw a few plays where Will Fuller dropped a couple, especially in the end zone. I think there was one where it hit him in the hands and he dropped it.
He did have a case of the dropsies in this game, and that hurt him a bit, but
Yeah. Hopkins had a little bit of trouble too for a couple passes. But not as much. He was targeted 12 times and caught 9, so but there were a couple of attempts there that probably should have been caught that weren't.
yeah, and that's gonna happen some games. I mean,
Oh, it happens all the time. I
dude,
mean,
you play a team that's like Kansas City, you're just kind of worried. You're just trying to do everything you can, and that probably gets in your head. But
yeah.
dude, what I would do though if I was Kansas City at this point, I might consider just sitting Patrick Mahomes for a week or two.
Mm-hmm.
Just let him get 100% because at this point, I mean, you're a long shot to get that 1 seed, but you could still easily get the 2 seed, take that first round bye, and you're probably going to walk away with this division. I mean, what point is there to not have Patrick Mahomes 100% going down the stretch?
Yeah.
He
Well,
looks off.
let's see. Well, next game they have is the next Thursday night game. Looks like, at Denver. So
Yeah,
it
I would definitely consider, especially against that Denver defense. We'll get to them later, but yeah, Thursday night on short rest against that defense. Oof.
yeah. I mean,
You're asking for some trouble at that point.
yeah. It's a case of okay, where do we rest him now to let him heal up if he does have this sort of ankle injury? You know, when do we allow him to rest? Because it's not like baseball or hockey or whatever where you can rest a guy for 4 games and the impact is minimal. You rest him for 1 game, that's a big deal.
Dude, you rest Patrick Mahomes right now, you might lose both games and you'll be sitting at 4-4.
Yeah.
But if you have a 100% Patrick Mahomes, you'll finish the season at 11-5. You might not get the 2nd seed. You might be the 3rd seed,
Yeah.
but you're going to win your division, and you're probably going to be working teams in the playoffs. So I think if I was Andy Reid, I'd sit him down for 1 or 2, just get that ankle right, and let's just get to the playoffs as a complete team.
Yeah. Have they had their bye week yet? I don't think they have.
That'll be after this game. So yeah, I would sit him for this one, and then he gets the bye, and then you come back.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well,
yeah.
not to mention he'll get this week is basically he'll get the long rest or whatever because they'll have their week played on Thursday instead of Sunday. So I don't know, but anyway, yeah, if they're gonna rest him up, maybe this is the week, or maybe have him play a half.
They don't have the bye in week 8.
Yeah, what week
They
do
don't
they have?
have it in 9. Yikes.
Mm.
That would be kind of tough then, but man, you've got to get Patrick Mahomes right.
Yeah.
Yeah, All right, on to the next one.
Yeah, on to the next one, and yeah, anyone really want to discuss these two teams? Then what these teams actually have to win? Washington Redskins squeak by the Miami Dolphins, 17-16, and I can continue in the video description to say something downgrade or degrading about the Miami Dolphins. It's, like I have been like saying, like every week I've been saying Miami Dolphins suck, yada in the description. I can continue to do that.
Dude, Fitzmagic tried his damnedest to win this game, but you get rid of Jay Gruden and you get your first W, baby. Told you that guy was trash. First coach fired. Fucking said it since the beginning of the season.
Yeah, you did call that one.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, he's so bad. But both these teams are just as awful.
Yeah.
My favorite
But
part though, Adrian Peterson, 118 yards, no touchdowns. And you know why he's playing. He's trying to break the all-time touchdown record of Walter Payton's.
right.
He's 3 away, 118 yards. Don't even sniff that end zone. That's got to just piss you off for a week.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was close. I thought they were in the red zone and he got close, but yeah, no cigar on that one. And here's the thing, like we could have been talking about a Miami win this week. But if because Ryan Fitzpatrick, 6 seconds left in the game, gets a touchdown pass down the middle to Devontae Parker, and they go for two, and they failed the 2-point conversion. Had they just stuck with the field goal and gone to overtime, we could be talking about a Miami team that is not winless. Like, they came back in that fourth quarter and almost took it. So,
Teams are 0 for 3 this year. I'm going for 2-point conversion wins.
yeah.
Denver tried it once and lost, and I forget who the second team is, but it doesn't work out. Just go for the tie.
Yeah, I was about to say, I really wanted this game to end in the tie because these
Oh
two
my
teams in
god.
particular.
Oh, they're the worst.
Yeah.
If anybody watched this game, more power to you, because I would have killed myself.
That it wasn't that great of a game to watch. I
No,
mean,
Rosen got sacked 5 times in the first half. I mean,
and threw 2 picks. His
dude,
QBR was 32.9.
you and guess what? Again, that's not even the worst of the fucking week.
Oh my gosh.
I know we're gonna get there. It's horrendous. Dude, this was just a fucking god awful week.
Yeah.
And it was capped off by this shit storm right here. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Let's move on.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go ahead and get out of that tank bowl. All right.
Yuck.
All right, next up, Minnesota Vikings over the Philadelphia Eagles, 38-20. Diggs. That's all I have to say.
You know, a couple weeks ago, I was in full panic mode. Both my teams were looking like trash. The Vikings were in the middle of just the worst blow up they've had since the Mike Tice love boat.
Mm-hmm.
And they feed Adam Thielen last week. And then they feed Stephon Diggs a hearty helping this week. Diggsy had 3 touchdowns, could have had 4. He had one that Kirk Cousins overthrew him by a few yards.
Yeah.
But it looked like he had pulled up when he went to look for the ball. If he had just kept going 100%,
right.
he would have had 4. Huge game.
7 catches for 167 yards with a long of 62.
Dude, he had 2 long touchdowns. Both of them were over 45, maybe even 50. Oof.
Yeah, I remember seeing the highlights of those two, and geez, Diggs just had a game. If you had him for fantasy, well, just good on you for that one.
Right? And if anybody had the balls to start Kirk Cousins, man, more power to you, because Kirk Cousins came through in a big way against a pretty porous defense.
22 for 20 out of 29, 333 yards, 4 touchdowns, a pick, and a sack. But QBR of 138.4.
And if Diggs had caught that touchdown, he would have had a 152.8. That one he just missed.
Yeah.
Dude, he was on fire.
I
mean, you would have thought that this was going to be a big toss-up game. I wasn't confident picking the Vikings last week, but man, this team, I've been saying, if they can get right on offense, it's a complete team.
Here's the funny thing, though, too. Carson Wentz did not have that bad of a game either.
No.
He was 26 for 40 for 306 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. He got sacked twice, but his QBR was still a 94.4. So we're not talking about a horrible day. We're not talking about a bad day for Carson Wentz. It's just that the plays that the passes that Kirk Cousins threw, particularly the Diggs, were just big bomb plays, and there were 3 touchdowns there. So,
dude, if anybody wants to go and watch the highlight though of Kirk Cousins' first touchdown, he had Adam Thielen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's a player in the NFL that runs a cleaner route than Adam fucking Thielen. Dude, he puts on a double move and gets right to the corner of the end zone and just walks it out of bounds.
Yeah.
That route was a thing of beauty. That guy is special. Tell you what. Yeah. But boy, howdy. You know what really sealed the deal for the Eagles, and you knew they were going to blow it at that point? They went for a fake field goal pass to end the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Ugly play. The tight end didn't even seal. He just ran out right away. Minnesota sniffed it out for an interception to end the first half.
Yeah.
Oh, you could tell at that point, instead of going for 3, then taking the ball at the second, dude, you end up giving up a pick and your team goes into the locker disheartened.
Yeah, although I'm not sure how disheartened they were really, because, it was 24-10 at the end of the half, and then Philly comes back in the third quarter, gets the first 2 scores of the second half. So they almost made a comeback, but yeah.
Minnesota looked good. Minnesota looked real good.
Yeah.
They got a chance to compete for the NFC North. They keep it up, man. They might be a force to be reckoned with come January.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with them, because right now who's in the lead in the North? Is it Chicago? Packers. Okay.
Packers. Luckily, we'll get to that one too. Wow.
Yeah.
It could have been tied for the division, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. All right. On to the next one.
Yes, sir.
All right. New Orleans Saints get over the Jacksonville Jaguars, 13-6. This one, was this the low scoring game of the week?
Yeah, by a long shot, I believe.
Yeah, not a lot of offensive firepower, it seemed like.
No, dude, this was your typical defensive game. Both of these defenses are firing on all cylinders right now.
Yeah,
you could tell Gardner Minshew was a rookie.
Yeah.
And you could tell Teddy Two Gloves was the highest paid backup. Because he just managed the game, and Gardner had no chance.
Yeah. Teddy Bridgewater, 24 out of 36, 240 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. Got sacked 3 times. QBR 94.7 compared to Minshew Magic. 14 out of 29, 163 yards, no touchdowns, a pick, and 2 sacks for QBR 51.4. So, yeah, Gardner Minshew has been shut down pretty much the past couple of weeks. He just hasn't had anything going for him past 2 or 3 weeks. So
no, he doesn't have the best weapons, and that hurts him a lot. Still, when you see him get under center and you see him drop back, you can see him trying to read his progressions, and he's got all the makeup of a franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
He didn't have it today or on Sunday. Not at all.
Yeah, I mean, and New Orleans, I mean, it's tough to play against New Orleans no matter what. It always has been.
Dude, but I'll tell you what, they are going to get him some weapons the next couple of years after they deal Jalen Ramsey to St. Louis Rams for a first next year, a first in 2021, and a fourth in 2021.
You said St. Louis, sir. You brought back some bad memories.
Dude, that's where they should be.
Fuck Kroenke. There's your fuck Kroenke of the week, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go. Perfect. Dude, I'll never get over that. They're going to be St. Louis till I die.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, they got 3 picks back for probably the best cornerback in the league, but holy fuck. If LA thought that their problem was defense, their GM is just trash.
Yeah, but
they need to run it. They need a running back in the worst way, and dude, a cornerback's not going to help them. Yeah, it's going to be tough this season now. I mean, that's got to be probably a pretty disheartening trade for the Jaguars, who didn't feel completely out of it. Yeah. But yeah, 2 first-round picks and a 4th-round pick for a cornerback. They got to be feeling pretty good about their future with Gardner Minshew and some pretty good picks coming up to solidify that offense.
Yeah. Hopefully they stick with him or do something because who was it that they signed for QB?
Nick Foles.
Yeah.
For a lot of money, and to deal him would be a pretty big cap hit.
Right.
But they don't really have any players they need to pay, so wouldn't be the worst. I mean, how can you stop trying to develop Minshew at this point?
Oh, that's the thing. It's like, do you try to develop Minshew, or do you go back to someone who, or do you go back to the guy you pay? You know,
I think it's pretty clear now that they're dealing away Jalen Ramsey, that they're not too concerned about trying to win this season.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty far behind.
Yeah, I don't see them throwing Nick Foles back into the mix at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Nick Foles, I don't think is supposed to be back. Is he supposed to be back soon, or is he out for the whole season? I forget.
No, he's got a few more weeks yet on that collarbone. But I think it's like week 10 he could come back.
That they're thinking he's coming back, yeah.
Yeah, he'd be eligible week 9 or 10, I think. But yeah, at that point, you're going to be probably 4 games out of first place.
Mm-hmm.
What would be the point unless Gardner Minshew just continues to not show, and you think you might not have it?
Right.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. The next couple weeks will be crucial for this.
Right. All right. Well, since it's not really too much to talk about this game, let's go ahead and go on to the next one. All right. Next one, Baltimore Ravens get over the Cincinnati Bengals. Fuck it, they're the Bungles.
Oh, God, yes.
23-17. Any good talking points there? Lamar Jackson doing Lamar Jackson things. There's a... I guess if we had to start out, the first few seconds of the first quarter, ooh, Baltimore kicks off and Brandon Wilson returned the kick 92 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah, you don't see too many people taking it out.
You don't see a kickoff return hardly ever.
No, not anymore. So yeah, that's a fun way to start a game, but that's probably the only time Cincinnati fans were really celebrating the entire day.
Yeah, from that point, it was pretty much a Baltimore show. From there, you had Lamar Jackson, 21 for 33, 236 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, 1 sack, QBR of 84.9, and then while Andy Dalton was 21 for 39, 235 yards for no touchdowns, had a pick and 2 sacks, but 61.4 QBR. Like, not as far as like stat lines go, yeah, a little bit worse percentage for Allen, but like the fact that these guys were tied for yardage, I mean, there had to have been something. And you kind of look, it's the rushing attack of Baltimore. Lamar Jackson being able to get out of the pocket and cause a huge amount of damage. Really.
Pooey.
19 rushes for 152 yards with a
Eight.
long of a 36-yard run.
8 yards a carry. That's insane.
For a quarterback.
But then the other problem is that Cincinnati's only touchdown of the day on offense was an Andy Dalton 1-yard dive.
Right.
I mean, this was all Ravens. It was all boring. This is 1970s football all over again.
Yeah. I mean, they tried to come back in the late in the quarter, but I mean, at that point, it was just too late. Ravens had secured their win pretty much about 4 minutes left in the fourth. So
yeah, Cincinnati tried for the onside kick, and of course it didn't work, and you end up with a pretty close game that wasn't close until the very end.
Right.
Oh, man. Week 6, you are a bitch.
And that's how we sign up with that game. Cincinnati, another winless team, along with the Dolphins right now.
Dude, I wonder if these two teams meet up at any point in the season.
I don't.
Could you have 2 offers in 1 year? That'd be disgusting.
Cincinnati, Bengals schedule. Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out right now.
That's a really good question.
They do play December 22nd. So if they're still winless by then, if both teams are still over.
Ooh, we could be on full-on tank mode.
Tank ball!
Dude, people would pay you to attend that game at that point. Holy shit.
I know a sports shit poster who would have an absolute field day with that game if they are both over.
Well, they're going to be. There's no way they're not at this point. They both look so bad.
Yeah,
even when AJ Green gets healthy, Cincinnati might just trade him.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look at what the potential wins are for Cincinnati for the rest of their schedule. I'm looking at the Jets and maybe the 2 Browns games they have late in the season.
Ooh, dude, the Jets though? The Jets might be for real.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll see. It's you never know. Anything can happen in this league.
That's true.
But anyway.
Yeah, let's get off this game. This was another terrible one.
Yeah, let's go on to the next one. Battle in California as San Francisco 49ers defeat the LA Rams. Fuck you, Kroenke. I think I've already said that. 20-7. Yeah, Rams started off with Rams draw first blood with a rushing touchdown, but after that it was all San Francisco.
Dude, now go find Jared Goff's QBR for the day.
60.8 for Jared Goff.
No. 6.8.
No, it's 60.8.
Is it 60.8? Man, yeah. I misread it earlier this week. 13 for 24, 78 total fucking yards passing.
Yeah, and he got sacked 4 times. No touchdowns, no picks. This is okay. I'm an idiot because I actually had Jared Goff as my starting quarterback on my fantasy team over fucking Baker Mayfield, and I paid for it hard.
Dude, I don't blame you because Baker has not looked any better.
Yeah.
But sorry, I almost died there. Oof. This was another rough game. San Francisco looks every part of an undefeated team so far, though. Garoppolo making some pretty decent throws.
Mm-hmm.
Did their rushing attack, while nothing stellar, is getting the job done, moving the chains. And that defense is terrifying.
Oh yeah, it's like, oh man, I'm just trying to figure out like what, looking through stats, what was the big thing for him, and I don't know.
It was your typical 20-7 game.
Yeah,
Some missed plays, some defense. Again, nothing special. There's nothing good about this week, really.
yeah. I mean, it. I don't know. There's just not a whole lot that can be said about this game. I mean, the LA's offense just didn't show up.
Dude, I'm going to have to go back and look at how many passing touchdowns there were this week.
Mm-hmm.
Because if there were 50, I'll be amazed.
Yeah. Yeah, I really don't have much to say. That this is simply a case of the LA Rams offense just didn't show up. Because if they had shown up, we probably could be talking about how close of a game this actually could have been.
Right?
But you can't show up whenever your quarterback only throws for 78 yards and you get, what is that, about 120-ish yards rushing?
Yeah, disgusting.
Yeah. I mean,
dude, if they had a healthy Gurley, this would still be one of the top 3 offenses in the league.
right.
Without a running back to control that offense, they're kind of stuck in the mud at this point.
Right. That's pretty much it. It's they gotta figure out a way to kickstart their offense and go from there. But anyway, on the next one.
Yes, sir.
All right, next game we have the Battle of the Birds. Arizona squeezes by Atlanta 34-33. I'd say a lack of defense is in this game.
That's pretty much it too, because both quarterbacks looked on point. Matt Ryan had his usual very good game.
Yeah.
30 for 36, 356, 4 touchdowns, no picks.
He did get sacked twice, but his QBR was 144.9. Compare that to Kyler Murray, 27 for 37, 340 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, no sacks, QBR 128.2. So this was, the QBs had a game this game. For sure.
Dude, has any quarterback ever gotten screwed over more by having a terrible defense than Matt Ryan?
Oh my God.
What does this guy have to fucking do to buy a win? How are they 1-5 when you're hitting 30 of 36, 4 touchdowns? Dude, your running game is there. Like, what the fuck does he have to do?
Yeah,
you kind of have to feel bad. Like, if anybody says at this point that Matt Ryan is having a down season, they're not paying attention to football at all.
I would love to see the point differential and like the points allowed for the Atlanta defense, because like, to me, like, this should have been a game, as well as Matt Ryan performed, this should have been a game Atlanta won. If Atlanta had any sort of defense, it's their game.
It's criminal, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, it should not be a thing, but at the same time, you have Kyler Murray, who is also in a very similar boat. Arizona doesn't have a defense either. I mean, this was only their second win of the year. And Kyler Murray, he's a bit more up and down, but he had a good game today, or a good game this week. So, yeah, I mean, this was simply a game of no defense, and you know, just one little thing could have made a huge difference. You get
Dude,
one defensive stop somewhere.
so their season has been 12 points to the Vikings, 24 points in their win against the Eagles, 24 against the Colts, 10 against the Titans, 32 against the Texans when they got flooded 53-32, and then this 34-33 loss to the Cardinals. And the only bad game Matt Ryan has had this year was that Falcons Vikings game where he went 302 picks, 2 touchdowns. Otherwise, it really hasn't been on him at all.
Yeah, it's just the defense can't stop anything.
He had fucking 400 yards in their 24-10 loss to the Titans with no touchdowns and no interceptions. Like, he just got super unlucky at the goal line in that game. God, you just hate to see it.
Yeah. And you know that just because, you know, the Falcons have just been god awful. Like, you know they're like, you know they're gonna start having photos comparing fucking the Falcons to Atlanta United again, as far as attendance.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah. Like, oh man,
Kyler Murray though, balling out for a tiny rookie. He'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, quite literally tiny.
Dude, once they get that offense locked down, he's going to be really fun for the next few years, at least.
Yeah. I think once they get to a point where he's not having to run out and scramble all over the place, because he has, on his stat line, 11 rushes. Like, they need to do something for him to not have to scramble all the time. Which is unfortunately because he plays for Arizona and they really don't have a line. That's kind of what he has to do, is scramble for yardage and scramble for open opportunities.
Dude, it's got to be kind of tough too, though, when you can't see over the line. It's got to be hard to anticipate throws at that point. They need to work in some more rollouts.
Yeah, I was about to say some bootlegs or something. I mean,
right. They'll figure it out.
There's ways that they can get him to, you know, get him opened up and get him to see, you know, down the field. But that I don't know if they're going to keep him in the pocket like that, like they normally do.
Cannot do that. I think I hope what they do with him is they keep him healthy and they start drafting some linemen who can pull.
Right.
Otherwise, man, he's going to have an RG3 type career. I think that's enough for this game, though. What do you think, Wooly?
Oh, yeah. Let's go on to the next one, which is the Denver Broncos shutting out the Tennessee Titans 16-0.
Dude, 7 sacks against the Titans this week. Denver Broncos finally found their groove on the defensive side of the ball. Offense still is leaving a little bit to be desired. I mean, Flacco, 18-28, 177 yards, 1 pick. Pretty pedestrian. Rushing attack looked fine. Philip Lindsay had 70 yards.
Yeah.
But, I mean, nothing spectacular on their side of the ball either.
Was there an injury, or did someone just get pulled from the Titans?
No, Marcus Mariota got benched for Ryan Tannehill in this game.
Yeah, I was about to say 7 for 18 attempts, 63 yards, and a QBR of a 9.5.
Dude, pretty terrible.
Yeah, it's
pretty bad. Then Tannehill comes in. He starts throwing it around, but at that point, Denver was playing their prevent defense. Dude, the Titans are in a world of hurt right now.
Yeah, I mean, both these teams really, because Flacco's not doing much either. This is just one of those games where it's, you know, you had two not that great teams, and one of them had to win. And I guess the Broncos defense just did enough to get them to win, but even so, there wasn't much going on in this game either.
I mean, when your turnover differential is 3-1 and your sack differential is 7-1, it was pretty clear why your team lost.
Yeah. I mean, there were 4 scores, all made by Denver. 3 of them were field goals.
Yeah, just not another not fun game to pay attention to.
Right. But yeah, I mean, don't have much to say on this. It's just
no, a very very dull game again.
Yeah. All right, next one we have New York Jets squeaked by the Dallas Cowboys 24-22.
Dude, so, you think you have a team figured out, and then Dallas just starts laying some fucking eggs, man. You get beat by the New York Jets.
Yeah.
Right after Sam Darnold comes back from a teenage disease.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he had mono.
How the fuck do you do that? I mean, there's this great gif going around Twitter of Jason Garrett going to give some fucking high fives when they got to 24-17. None of his fucking players slapped fives. I laughed. Laughed so hard. Dude, he's lost his team. If they lose 2 more, dude, I can't see Jerry Jones keeping him on. He might be the next coach fired.
Yeah.
When you lose your locker room as a coach, you have nothing.
Yeah.
And when you lose a game like this, where not only are you down, but you're fucking down 21-6 going into the fucking second half against the New York fucking Jets. Dude, I'm sorry. You fucking lost your team. You've lost the season pretty much. I don't see them coming back at this point. And I think a lot of NFL fans had high hopes for the Cowboys to start this season.
Yeah. I will say, it looks like at the second half, Dallas' defense did pick it up a little bit.
Dude, they picked it up a bit. I mean, at that point, I think the Jets were playing to not lose the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was the third quarter was slow.
Yeah, and by the way, another 2-point attempt to try to tie the game.
Yeah, they had to try to tie that one. And yeah, fucking Prescott just fucking dropped a pass right at Jason Witten's feet to end it.
Yeah.
Dude, Todd Bowles is their defensive coordinator, I think, for the Jets.
Uh-huh.
Throws a 0 blitz on that 2-point conversion attempt. Dude, and just they got through that pretty stellar offensive line of Dallas's to end it. Ballsy play by both sides at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, not a really great game. Fun to see the Jets win a pretty convincing win.
Yeah, they finally got a win this season.
Right?
So
that they could have been another one.
Yeah.
But Darnold looked sharp.
Yeah, QBR of 113.8 with 23 out of 32 for 338. 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, 2 sacks.
Not terrible. Not terrible at all.
Yeah. All right. Next one.
Prescott, also not that ugly. Dude, 28 of 40 for 277.
89.3 KBR, yeah. Or QBR. QBR.
Dude, just no really standout performances.
No. I mean, Ezekiel Elliott, 105 yards rushing on 28 attempts. So that's pretty much all you can say.
Next one?
Yeah, let's go ahead and go to the next one, which is the Pittsburgh Steelers get by the Los Angeles Chargers 24-17. And I think this one is a testament to the Steelers' defense coming up big. A couple situations. First score of the game was a Philip Rivers fumbled and it was recovered by Devin Bush of the Steelers and returned for a touchdown. So the defense kick starting the scoring for Pittsburgh. And that first half and really the first three quarters, all Pittsburgh. And what the hell is going on over there?
Dude,
You
oh yeah, I'm good.
okay? I was about to say there was some noises going on over there.
Oh no, I'm just fine. I'm just fine. I just bumped my mic with my cup.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, first three quarters were all Pittsburgh in this game.
Dude, the wildest part about this entire game, though, was if you saw any pictures of the stands, you would have thought they were playing in Pittsburgh, not in LA.
Well, yeah, that's the Chargers' MO right now. Is they are the visiting team even at home.
Right? It's got to be hard as fuck to play 16 road games every season.
Yeah, and especially when like 8 of them are they're bait. 8 of them are playing on a soccer field.
Right?
Like, geez, I don't know. It feels. I still think that they should move the Chargers back to San Diego or find another place for them to play because that team is just they're not doing well in LA, like at all. Like their attendance is the away team. It's the away fans. Like I'm watching the highlights right now on Yahoo and good grief, all those terrible towels. But yeah, Pittsburgh just dominated for most of the game and really kind of they let up in the fourth quarter, but they at that point they had it. I mean, Delvin Hodges goes 15 for 20 for 132 yards, 87.9 QBR. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Jaren, you're muted.
It was just a not great game. Again, I mean, Devlin Hodges, he went 15 for 20, 132 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. I mean, your third string quarterback at this point. It's
Yeah.
Benny Snell was your best rusher.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just not good. And then San Diego does nothing but disappoint. Philip Rivers puts up some big numbers, but he throws some terrible picks.
Yeah.
Dude,
I mean,
I think at this point, San Diego needs to fucking just play Austin Eckler because when he was in the game, dude, they were fucking humming on all cylinders. And then Melvin Gordon comes back and they just look listless.
yeah.
They might be a team that trades away Melvin to a team like LA. Their other LA sister city team. And that would fucking right both their ships, I think.
Right.
It'd be a win-win.
Yeah, so I really don't have much more to say. This is just Pittsburgh got started off hot, started off early, just build it up and basically build it up to a point where LA cannot come back. So,
dude, it was nice to see Hunter Henry come back and finally get a good game in. Guy's been injured so goddamn much in his short career.
mm-hmm.
So it's cool to see him 8 of 9, 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Good game for him. Good story. Otherwise,
yeah, not much going.
Dude, a boring game in a terrible football town.
Yep. Makes you wonder how the XFL is going to do with the LA team, at least.
Their draft looked like something, so that's a thing.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll probably say something about it down the road.
Oh yeah, we'll get there as the XFL season starts to get in full swing.
Right, but until then, shall we go on to the next game and the final game of the week?
Oh God, here we go.
Green Bay squeaking by Detroit, 23-22.
Dude, and if you heard Wooly just say squeaking by, what he really means is the refs, they gave the game to the fucking Packers.
Yeah. So, just going over stat lines real quick. Aaron Rodgers, 24 for 39, 283 yards, 2 touchdowns, a pick and a sack, QBR of 90. Matthew Stafford, 18 of 32, 265 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Got sacked 3 times, QBR of 83.5. So, relatively even in terms of quarterback play. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers had a couple passing touchdowns, and that's going to make a big difference. But as far as QBR and overall stats, not that big of a difference.
No, no, it really wasn't. I mean, the big difference in this game was the rushing attack by the two teams.
Yeah, just doing a little quick math. Detroit had, let's see, that's 42, 51, 55 yards rushing. Meanwhile, Green Bay, just one guy almost doubled that for Green Bay.
Yeah, Jamal Adams, 14 carries for 104 yards. I mean, big piece of the game. Aaron Jones had another 47.
Yeah, and Rodgers scrambled for 10, and
they had Marquez Valdez-Scantling go for a 9-yard little sweep even. Green Bay controlled this game, and it really came down to the refs fucking up another game in a big spot.
Yeah, what was the spot for?
Dude,
I did not pay attention to this game, so.
Dude, they called back a touchdown right at the end, even though replay showed that it was a good touchdown.
Was it one of those where the guy got tackled at the line, tried to make a stretch type deal?
Something like that, I believe. And yeah, they took it away and really ended any shot of the Lions winning this game. Kind of a disappointment, but what do you do? The refs suck.
Well, they still could have won the game because Green Bay only won this off a field goal at the end of the game. So if their defense would have shown up on that last drive, we might be talking about Detroit win, and the Green Bay Packers being 4-2.
That's very true. You never want to leave yourself in the position where the refs can determine your fate, but man, when they screw up, it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah. So you never know. If Detroit's defense had just one really good drive, you never know. But yeah. I mean,
All right.
I really don't have much more to say about this.
No, it was just a very listless, lackluster type week. You get those once or twice a season, and week 6 was it in 2019.
Yeah, hopefully this week we have a little bit of better showing as far as, explosive plays or just really good stat lines or just some sort of talking point.
Right?
Because there wasn't much this week.
No, this week was terrible.
Yeah.
And, we have next week buys are the Steelers, the Browns, the Panthers, and the Bucks. So, I mean, outside of another Baker Mayfield meltdown and some run CMC, we've still got some players who could make some plays next week.
Yeah. Well, wait, Cleveland is on the bye, so we're not going to get a Baker Mayfield meltdown.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We're not going to get this run CMC update, and we're not going to get a Cleveland blow up. Otherwise, it should be a pretty good week if everybody cleans their shit up.
Yeah. Well, speaking of this week, are we ready to go through our little lightning pick'em?
I believe we are.
All right, so let's start off with the Kansas City Chiefs go to Denver to play the Broncos. Who do you got?
Dude, I'm actually going to pick the Broncos this week. Their defense looks great, and with Patty Mahomes, they're limited, and without Patty Mahomes, they're doomed.
Yeah, I'll go ahead with you on this one. I'll go with Denver, just because unless Patrick Mahomes, unless they really work on him this week. But anyway, next one, Los Angeles Rams go to Atlanta to play the Falcons. I got the Rams in this one. Falcons
I'm,
defense is just terrible.
I'm actually going to have to go with Atlanta this week. Matt Ryan's playing too good not to get it.
All right. All right, next one. Miami Dolphins go to Buffalo. I don't see Miami winning this, like, at all.
No.
This is Buffalo.
Oh, definitely give me Buffalo on this one.
Yeah.
There's no reason to even try to pick a Miami game.
All right. Jacksonville Jaguars heading to Cincinnati to play the Bungles. I'm gonna go with Jacksonville on this one. I think Cincinnati stays over.
Yeah, I would definitely say give me the Jags. They'll get their ship right here this week.
Yeah, and I just remember one segment we have to do, but we'll go after we do this lightning round. Minnesota goes to Detroit. I'm going to go ahead and take Minnesota on this one.
Dude, it's going to be a close one, but give me Minnesota late.
Mm-hmm. All right, next up, Oakland goes to Green Bay and Lambeau Field.
Dude, give me Oakland in this one. I think they show up after the bye week ready and rested. They look like contenders in the AFC.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go ahead and go with Green Bay on this. I think you're at home. Your team's holding up pretty well. I'm just going to go Green Bay on this one. All right. Houston heads to Indianapolis. Texans versus the Colts. Who you got?
I'm going to go with the Texans on this one. They showed it this week. They were ready to fucking play, and I think they bring it again next week against Indy.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Texans as well. As long as their receivers have a good game and maybe a couple of less drops compared to this past week, I think they got a really good shot. All right. Arizona Cardinals head over to New York to play the New York Football Giants. This one, I am going to go with New York. They seem to be doing decent the past few weeks. Arizona, that defense of theirs just scares me to pick them at any time. So,
dude, I'm gonna have to go with Arizona on this one. I think that Danny Dimes has another rough week, and Kyler's balling. I can't see any reason to pick against him until he loses again.
All right, next one, we got the 5-0 San Francisco 49ers heading over to D.C. to play the Washington Redskins. I mean, is there really a reason to pick Washington in this one at all?
No.
Yeah, I was about to say, I have San Francisco.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, all right. We got the L.A. Chargers going over to Tennessee to face the Titans. Who you got?
Dude, this is a tough one because I don't think either team is believable right now, but give me the Chargers.
Yeah, I just look at the quarterback situation, the fact that Mariota got benched in the game. I'm going to have to say LA. Because at least Phillip Rivers is
can't
consistent.
argue against that.
Yeah. All right, next one. We got New Orleans Saints heading up to play the Chicago Bears. This one, oh man. I'm going to have to go with New Orleans. Well, I think Chicago's defense could do fairly decent against the New Orleans offense. I think just the fact that Chicago's offense, I don't think can compare or at least go up against the Saints defense. And plus, come on. They got the Saints have the Pope behind them. If anyone saw that tweet on Twitter, for the love of God.
I did not, unfortunately. We'll have to.
The Pope made a tweet and it kind of got used for New Orleans. It was kind of an accidental thing where he used hashtag Saints or something.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, so there was some talk on Twitter about the Pope back in New Orleans for it. It was funny.
Dude, yeah, I can't argue with you though on your pick.
Mm,
Chicago hasn't shown me anything this year. It makes me think they're a legitimate contender.
yeah. So both of us go to New Orleans then, huh?
Oh yeah.
All right. Next up, Baltimore goes to Seattle. Who you got?
Dude, Russell Wilson is playing better than he ever has.
Mm-hmm.
He's the MVP favorite, but I'm gonna have to go with Baltimore. I think Lamar really gets it right. That running game is scary. Give me the Ravens.
Yeah, this one's a tough one just because both these teams actually are fairly good teams. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Baltimore in this one as well. All right. Philadelphia Eagles go to Dallas to play the Cowboys. The battle of the 3-3 teams.
Dude, and if two teams were going in the wrong direction, it's these two. One of them has to get right.
Mm-hmm.
And since I think that Carson is a better quarterback overall than Dak, I'm gonna have to go with Philly this week.
All right. Man, I'm just. This one's tough for me because you have Dallas at home for the primetime Sunday game. Uh, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to say Philly wins just because I do see Dallas being on that downward trend. So, all right. Final game of the week. New England goes to play the New York Jets. Any reason why the New York Jets even have an inkling of a chance?
Yeah, they just beat a Dallas team that looked really good to start the season. I'm not gonna pick New York, but I could see it. Give me New England on this one.
Yeah, I gotta go New England. I mean, I think this past week we saw a little bit of weakness from Tom Brady, but I think he bounces back after. Let's see, they played the Thursday night game, so I mean, he'll have like 10 days rest or whatever. So yeah, I think New England's got this in the bag. All right, now to revert back to this past week. Best team this past week. Who you got?
Boy, best team. I'm gonna have to give it to my hometown Minnesota Vikings. Dude, the whooping they put on Philly was by far the most outstanding of the week. I can't think of any other team that did anything special. So they get it by default.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to go with the best team of the week, I mean, it's got to be New England. I mean, they had the biggest point differential for their win against New York. I mean, and it's like, come on, they're what 6-0 now. New England's doing New England things. All right, worst team of the week. I mean, it's got to be the Titans, right? This week.
Yeah, you get absolutely decimated. You bench a college quarterback for a college wide receiver turned quarterback. Neither of them have ever been any good.
Mm. Yeah, and
The Titans are going nowhere.
Yeah, and I can't say Miami this week because they almost won. They just let it slip out of their hands.
Dude, yeah, you got to give it to them. They might win more games. You just never know. The Titans look desperately in need for help right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so yeah, I think
yeah.
that's going to call it for this week.
Oh, thank God. I didn't think I would survive talking about this shit week that was week 6.
Yeah, hopefully next
Awful.
week. Hopefully next week two things happen. Hopefully our Rev and Aegon, our co-hosts, are filling up the task next week in order to talk about these next week's games, and hopefully just the football in general is just right. Is just something to talk about because
Right?
there was not much.
No, just awful. A not fun week on top of just not fun world news everywhere. Just what a rough week. And we topped it off tonight, the Democratic debates. Just the NBA in Hong Kong and China, then just awful football, and then listening to the nut jobs talk about crazy things.
Yeah.
What a shit sandwich.
Well, at least we did, today we had the XFL draft, so.
That was kind of neat to see. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, but I think at this point, guys, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Once again, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out our sponsors, CGN.US, the Drastic Measure, and the Breaking Company, for showing us all the love and support. Check out all the socials down in the video description. And, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for Iron Ranger and myself. Y'all have a good one.